I'm going to turn it over to you. This is Mr. Chey Castro, and we are recording, as you guys know. Chey is in the top 1% of the luxury home market. Fabulous gentleman with a hell of a handicap in golf as well. What's going on? I got guys. Okay, there we go. I think that's the YouTube is acting up, giving me some feedback. Can you? We don't have feedback now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, great. So, yeah, fabulous golfer, amazing capper, a man of Christ, a man after my own heart. And I'm beyond words, Chey, that you've taken your time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you and just talk to us and share with us. It'll bless somebody tonight here. And we got people still coming in, by the way.
All right. What would you like me to talk about? Just
well, why don't you just tell us about Chey and what you're doing in Scottsdale right now? And
yeah.
you know,
but it's crazy. I live right here by DC Ranch, and the NCAA golf tournament is going on right now. The college golf. So it's kind of cool. It's literally right here. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy over here right now. But yeah, I was born and raised here in Arizona. Parents met at Arizona State University, and I've been doing residential real estate for 15 years, over 15 years now, and started off in accounting and finance and kind of just worked my way up, and been at EXP now about 6 months, and very happy I came over. And like a lot of people say, I wish I would have came over earlier. And I just I had, because I do the luxury market, and I was at Russ Lyon Sotheby's for 10 years. That Sotheby's brand was hard to leave, I'll be honest, and it was a lot of fear of leaving, and you know, am I still going to be able to get luxury listings and luxury business? And it really hasn't slowed down at all for me, so it's been a good thing. So that's been a blessing, and I've not had to. I wish I had my faith over fear back then, and would have made it happen a long time ago. But I'm glad I finally did. So yeah,
right on.
Yeah.
The transition from Sotheby's to EXP, what was the big draw for you?
Just learning to be my own business, and I tell people I bet on myself, because you know, with the brand of Sotheby's, they try to tell you that it's the brand that gets you the listings, it's the brand that helps you with the marketing, and you know, there's some truth to that, because they do a good job and they pay a lot of money to market your listings and to get it out there. But if you can do it yourself, and you know, make sure that you get top-notch photography and video, and you can get in front of the right people, just create your own brand. And that is the beauty of EXP. You know, when I found my faith about three and a half years ago, I kind of went all in, like I do, kind of like anything I do in life. I go all in, and I'm all in with my faith. And my favorite scripture is Ephesians 3:20. And I asked if I could put that on my business card at Sotheby's, and they said no. And EXP, they're like, sure, go ahead. So it's on my business card.
And I love your business card. It looks like a cross, or your logo, right?
Logo, yeah. So, you know, things like that, you know, Sotheby's said no because they didn't want to offend anybody or turn anyone away. And when they said offend anybody, I'm like, that's the last thing I'm trying to do. You know, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to show my faith. And so,
right.
Trying to put, it's a tough industry, especially in the last couple of weeks. And even today, I have a listing that I'm getting really low offers on, and it's I guess there's a lot of doom and gloom out there right now. So, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I just feel the market shifted in the last week or two. It feels like it's shifted a lot. So,
Yes.
that's a little scary because um, I do a lot of networking, realtor stuff, and this guy in the mastermind was talking about if you look at the MLS, it was a record number of price reductions in the last couple of days. Like I forget what the number was, but it was some ridiculous number that we haven't seen in years. So that's a scary thing.
Yeah, I was just sharing with Don that we're right now. I'm in California. I'm out here in Monterey area, and my wife, she keeps sending me all these listings now, showing me there's price reductions here of well over $40,000 to $50,000. I think one was how much, honey? 60? Was
No,
it?
one dropped by 75.
One dropped as much as 75,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
So that's just been in the last couple of weeks, right?
But it's relative because
Yeah.
like a 3-2 out here is what, like 900,000. So
Right.
it's relative to price.
It's ridiculous out here. But what, your price point, where's your price point at now on what you're listed, what you have listed?
Threes in a 3 million range. 3 is kind of what I have, and I try to do over, like in the last year, I guess my average sale was about 2 million, which in Scottsdale is pretty good. That used to be not, I mean, that used to be really high, but now there's just so much, like a lot of you California people are coming out here, coming out to Arizona. And, high flips don't scare you guys. So it's kind of worked its way up here in Arizona too. There's been some record breaking price per square foot sales in the last, 6 months, a year, over $1,000 a square foot, which I thought never would happen in Arizona. But there's some pockets here that's happening, which is crazy to me. $1,000 a square foot in Arizona with no ocean, and it's about almost 100 degrees today. It's gonna, we're gonna hit 100 degrees the next 3 months straight. But people are coming out here. So.
Wow. Yeah, I just left on Saturday, and it was I think 106 that day.
Yeah, it's getting hot. It's getting hot out here.
Oh, I was ready to get out of there. But I come back and forth at least once a month or better. But I love to spend some time with you, and I'm waiting on more of our team to come on. We have a lot more people, but how do you go about getting your foot in the door and becoming a luxury, known as the luxury home guy? I mean, because you can say your name to anybody out in the Scottsdale area, and they already know you. It's incredible, man.
I appreciate that, man. That took a lot of time and stuff, but I was telling somebody, a newer agent just got his license 6 months ago, really, and he just says, "I want to be a luxury realtor." I said, "Well, just say it. I mean, that's how God works, right? You just kind of speak it into, and just claim yourself as a luxury realtor." And it's easy to do. You watch those shows and you think it's so easy to get those listings, but it's hard, and you have to run in the right circles and meet with the right people. And what the good thing about EXP is that we're getting a lot more luxury realtors in Arizona and across the nation. So if you can try to do an open house at a luxury house, I try to do listings at open houses at listings that are over $2 million. And when people come in, you just talk, you proclaim it as your inventory. This is what you do. This is the market you work in. And there was an agent out here that was sitting in open houses quite frequently about 4 or 5 years ago. And he wouldn't lie or anything, but he would do his social media and his video, and he wouldn't say it's his listing. So he wouldn't lie and say it's my listing, but he'd just say, doing an open house at a $3 million listing. And, but it was perceived like it was his on his social media. And he said, because of that, other people. And I think he did some sponsored videos and other things like that, and just kind of really got his social media out to the right people to see it. And he started getting listings in that particular area because people saw him as a area, area expert. And it's a lot of perception. And that's the cool thing about the internet, is that you can have that perception of stuff. So yeah, I just like associate myself, and well, the great thing about EXP is you can really create your own brand. So just brand yourself, right. Luxury expert. I don't see why you wouldn't. And I last year I sold a $150,000 house and a $7.5 million house, and the 7.5 one was easier than the 150. It's the same thing. But
same work.
It's easier though, because it was cash. It's easier. They were cash. They're business people. They've done this before. They know the process, and and items that are a couple thousand on the Benzer aren't going to scare them away. Just things like that normally on right. Stuff seems to kill deals and cause headaches. So why not? If it's the same amount of work, why not go for it? Shoot for the stars.
I totally agree with you there, because that's what we try to teach a lot of our people that I mentor and coach. I'm like, you're going to do the same type of work, but at least if in the higher brackets, it's just like you just said, they understand the math. They understand the numbers behind it. Yeah. And it does make our job a lot more simpler. And Don does a lot of higher end listings as well. And do you see the same thing, Don?
Actually, I was just thinking about this. I love what you said, Chey. My first sale right out of the gate was 2.3 million.
Wow, first one.
I mean, it's like going to Vegas and winning the first time. So you think everything's going to be like that. And it was in Chandler, believe it or not. Wow. So, but it was Air Park in Chandler, but it was the easiest sale I've ever made. It was cash. There was no questions. Both sides were agreeable, like reasonable people, and I knew nothing. I didn't brand myself. I didn't even know how to do the paperwork. I had to call on my friend to help me, do the paperwork. So
how'd you get the listing or the client?
A referral.
Oh, wow.
It was the referral. It was an out-of-state referral.
Good
so,
I
mean, I should have stuck with it and called myself, a luxury realtor. Now I wish I would have branded myself that way.
So how long ago was this? Was this a while back?
2013.
Okay. I mean, I've seen people do this. They don't put the dates, but they'll just put they'll do a post of things I've sold, and you can include that, the price, and you don't have to put the year, but you just kind of do things I've sold. And I've seen people have a lot of success with that, because people that don't know, they don't know what they don't know. So, and if they don't have access to MLS, meaning that they're not a real estate agent, they don't know what you sold. But if you tell them, hey, I've sold this, and I actually, the reason I'm mentioning it is because it's something I'm going to probably do here in the next couple of months. It's just what I've sold, and again, don't need to put the dates. You just put when you've done it. I mean, if it's truth, the truth is the truth, and you don't have to put the date. And that's the beautiful thing about being a Christian. I'm all about the truth, and I'm not. But if God sees that you're being truthful, that you have sold something and you're not lying, but it might be perceived differently in a good way, then why not? I don't see anything wrong with that. So
awesome. I love that idea, because that's true. It's the truth. Another thing I could do, I suppose, is this is my average sale, so what my average home sells for. I definitely brought the average up, and you're right, Kenyatta, I've sold some pretty decent size homes over the years. So I sold a trailer house too one time on Main Street in Mesa. So that'll bring the average down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's good though. It's a good reminder to show people what you've done. I always don't think there's always think there's some benefit there. People want to work with people that have done business before, and you show them what you've done, and it just makes you look stronger.
Yeah. Now, Chey, you've done over 460 million in sales, correct?
Yeah, throughout my whole career. Yeah. Which is crazy because that was another thing I wasn't really looking in, but then when I was trying to change up my marketing, and because when I left Sotheby's, I left a big team. I was on a big team called the Private Client Group. Frank Azami, and he's one of the top luxury agents in Arizona, and I left this team and do my own, and a lot of stuff. When I did that, I was like, I got to get creative and show people what I've done. And when I did that, you do the numbers, and it comes out to about 33 million a year over 15 years. It adds up pretty quickly. So yeah.
Frank was on the other side of that transaction of my first sale. He was.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Isn't he such a kind man? He's such a
He's
good
a
guy.
great guy.
Yeah.
He's just a person. He's a human being, and
yes,
we all are. And so I love your message today.
No, thank you. Yeah, I actually tried to recruit Frank over to EXP, and he's like,
that's my next question.
Yeah, he's not leaving Sotheby's. He's all in with the Sotheby's. He's a big reason I didn't leave, because when I was working with him, he is the Sotheby's brand, not because of the global impact it has and the auction that they have. Like, they auction off multi-million-dollar paintings and things like that, and so he correlates that with his marketing and his brand. So that is an advantage that brokerage has, and that's but again, they take so much of your commission. And that's another reason I left too, because you're on that split and there's no cap. That's the thing I love about EXP is you cap that, if you sell 2.5 million, you cap, and you pretty much get 100% commission the rest of the year. That's a big selling point for me.
I got a $2.5 million commercial building, so I should be capping pretty quick.
There you go. No, that's the beauty. You make one sale like that, and you're capped, and your next sale, you're 100% commission, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I just got off the phone with the buyers. They're from Canada, and I set up a meeting for them to look at a property next to the other property I have. I walked in and just talked to the owner and asked them would they entertain selling, and just walked off the street, right? And when I did it, and she said yes. So I sent the client in there, and now they want to make an offer on that. So now that owner, she's going to get an appraisal done, and so I might pick up a second $2 million deal. That just happened before we started this. So
wow. Because that's that's how it works. I mean,
I've been asking God, I've been going to God in prayer on everything, and that's what I don't hold back. Don will tell you, and anyone else on here, I don't hold back my faith on this call. We are even in my logo or what's behind me, you'll see the two keys are a resistance of iron and sharpening. Let me see if I get there for you.
Oh wow. Iron and sharpening, yeah. I see that.
And it represents there's three keys in there. So the Trinity, right? Mm-hmm. And then the iron sharpening iron, because they're crossing and striking each other. But then the shield is the shield of faith, right? So all the deeper meaning people don't really get, but I'm repping God because I'm a pastor too. So
very subtle. I love that. That's awesome. That's a beautiful logo.
Yeah. But man, I know your time is getting short and you're headed to Bible study. Is there any other questions anyone has for him right now? You have such a wealth of knowledge sitting here on this call. Please ask questions or put it in a chat. And we don't want you going unheard, because I don't know when the next time I'll be able to get Chey to spend his time with us. Go ahead, Donna.
I have just a comment / question. You have a different persona than other agents in Paradise Valley, North Scottsdale. That's an area I've worked before and lived. Tell me about that, and how does that humility, that soft-spokenness, help you be successful in your business?
Wow, thank you for saying that. Well, it has to be because I probably was a lot like them, 5 years ago before I got God in my life. And so I gotta say, it's that humbleness of knowing that, like, when you make a sale, it's not because of you, it's because of God. Giving God the credit for it. And like you're gonna get $4 million in sales that you just mentioned, and that's not because of you, it's because you've been praying, and you understand that God did it. And so when you have that understanding, it allows you to be humble, and not there's a lot of narcissism in real estate. And I've been around other real estate agents in those areas, especially Paradise Valley. Holy cow. I went to the to that Friday morning luxury home tour that they have every other week.
Yes.
I haven't been back in a while, but I went to that a couple months ago, and just the amount of narcissism in that room was just egos. I mean, egos to the roof. And they go out and tout their sales, and they're just like, I sold this, but just in a real way that, like, they think they're better than other people. And it's just, I don't know, everyone's trying to one up each other, and it just was a huge turnoff. And we go to a church, and the pastor always talks about ego, and he says ego is edging God out. He's like, when you do that, it really, really hurts it. So I'm just trying to do more of that, and I'm trying to be successful in this industry and give God the credit. And it's hard, but I think it's going to work, and it's going to be successful, and hopefully turn some people around, and maybe think you can honor God and still be successful in luxury real estate. Because even if you watch those shows on television, there's not much God going on in those shows at all. None. Exactly. Yeah.
We watched it the other night. I was like, oh my goodness.
they think they're gods is what I've come to conclude. They think they're gods, and untouchable, and it leads to success. So that's still the part that I'm wrapping my head around, because when these people have such big egos, narcissists, and they think they're gods, it does give them confidence to go and get the business. So that's the part that kind of is hard to reconcile sometimes. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have my peace and my joy and other things than that. So
yeah. Well, you didn't get to talk to. Go ahead, Dawn. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just Joyce. I learned a long time ago that God allowing things to happen is not Him approving of it, and the price will be paid sooner or later.
Amen to that. I believe that.
Joyce is in Michigan, Chey.
Nice.
We're trying to get her on board, and she has a couple other people
Nice.
there as well. I'm trying to initiate and attract as many as I can in a godly manner, but she is a god as well. Justin, I was going to say about him, his faith is so strong. I've been mentoring him now for about 6 months, and he is now going in to the properties and actually praying with some of the clients if they allow.
Wow. That's beautiful. That is awesome.
Our faith, because I do believe, because that's what stuck me with EXP, was the fact that I'm good friends with Brent Gove. And every time I would go to a meeting with him or be on a phone call, and Rick Jiha, he's out here too. These men of God, man, they right up on the stage and they're praying, they're talking about Jesus. And all these people, they got thousands of agents under them, and they're doing it. And Glenn Sanford did the same thing. When I saw that, I came and told my wife, I was like, oh my God, you're not going to believe it. I got to meet Glenn Sanford. We talked about Jesus more than we talked about real estate. And then he told me, he said, in 5 years, everybody's going to be with EXP. I don't care who they are or what they're going to be. They're going to be with EXP. He said, because we're doing what God wants us to do. We're on a mission from God.
Glenn Sanford said that? Holy cow. I don't know how, but I gotta go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where'd Kenyatta go? Did we lose Kenyatta?
I guess we lost a couple of people, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we signing
Yeah.
off? Well, nice to see you
Well,
all.
All right, thank
Yeah,
you. Thanks
but
for the
don't
invite.
sign up. I was really